advantage of finishing top 8, outside top 8. Now, these two teams, one of them is going to leave and not play the round of 16. Will it be Man City or Real Madrid? We'll have to see who qualifies for the next round of that Champions League. For today, the Premier League is back, and the biggest game in the Premier League is Arsenal is going to be hosting Manchester City. Manchester City, they're everywhere. This February, they go here. So they are hosting us. Arsenal is hosting them at the Emirates on Sunday. That's the biggest game in the Premier League this weekend. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Vote Sports on Vote 104.3 FM. My name is Godwin. I'm here with the A-team, my guys, to discuss all these, the Champions League draw and the Premier League and some of the leagues, top 5 leagues happening around last week, and Rangers also didn't do us proud last week. Let's hope that this weekend they are going to do us do something nice for us. Okay, good morning, John. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, football maniacs. The week is finally over and we get to do what we love most, which is what? Exciting, heart-pounding, spine-chilling football. Let's get going.
Good morning, Lonso.
A heart-pounding and everything chilling.
Going to face Real Madrid.
Now Real Madrid, they want target. Now Real Madrid, they want target. And Arsenal. So Arsenal fans, brace yourself for what John is about to hit you.
Brace yourself.
You get. And for me, I'm just going to say it's an exciting weekend. I don't know why people are waiting for weekend football when there's Champions League football in the midweek. I enjoy Champions. It's just that Thursday night football wasn't the football we expected or we would love to watch. But welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, guys. Okay, remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. We are live now on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. You can join us there. Drop your comments. I will be reading your comments live here in the studio. Before we dive into the Premier League, remember, the transfer window is going to close on Monday. It's February 3rd. Now, it's not, most times it used to be 31st January, just 30 days, but now they moved it to February 3rd. So on Monday, the transfer window is going to be closing. So clubs have about 2 more days to bring in a player they want. Arsenal, Manchester United, Man City have finished their transfer already. I think even though they are looking to buy one of these midfielder, but let's see if that will happen. Okay, let's start with the Premier League. The Premier League is happening this weekend, and I'm going to give you the fixtures of the Premier League. Then we'll talk about some of them, especially the big one that is happening on Sunday. On Saturday, the first early kickoff 1:30 is Nottingham Forest versus Brighton. It's going to be a good game. 4 p.m. is Newcastle versus Fulham, Everton versus Leicester City, Ipswich Town versus Southampton. That these two bottom clubs, anybody can get 3 points. Then another big one is Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Then Wolves is going to hosting Aston Villa in the final game for today. For tomorrow, it's Manchester United is going to be hosting Crystal Palace by 3 p.m. Brighton is going to play Tottenham Hotspur 3 p.m. But Arsenal is going to play Manchester City 5:30 tomorrow. On Monday, Chelsea is playing West Ham on Monday night football. Okay, let's talk about the Premier League. Let's start on Saturday's show before we dive into the Sunday games. Nottingham Forest is going to play in Brighton. Nottingham Forest didn't do well because they lost. Bournemouth trashed them last time.
Yeah.
And everyone will now go, okay, this is not Nottingham Forest we used to know. But they are playing Brighton too. Brighton are not in form too. They won a couple of games, they lost a couple of games too. But in this game, they are playing at home. Early kickoff, what do you think will happen in that game?
For me, I don't expect it to be a cakewalk for Nottingham Forest or for Brighton because these are two powers in the Premier League that are on the same level. They have the same talented managers manning the two clubs, and they are both in a hunt of a spot in Europe. So I wouldn't begrudge them all 3 points in this game. The question is who wants it more, who is fitter, who is more prepared, and who is ready to, go out there and do what is required to get the win.
Okay, now, so what do you think will happen? Nuno is your guy.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think he's going to do something for us this weekend?
He's going to do something for us this weekend. I think tactically he got it wrong against Bournemouth last weekend. You get when he lost 5 million.
Tactically.
No, tactically when you get it wrong,
Everybody has a plan until they get punched.
See, tactically he got it wrong. He got it right, but it didn't work to some extent. And I was expecting an early sub, but he didn't do that. He waited till the 60th, 70th minute before he started making his subs in that game. But if you look at this game now, he's good against a young side. No, his team is young, but he's going against another young side that have runners and creators in midfield. We're talking about strikers who don't camp, and you have Joao Pedro in front of the line who does not camp. If he's not starting, Danny Welbeck is starting, and we know Danny Welbeck does not also camp. and they all get their goals.
You haven't forgotten about Mitoma though.
Mitoma is a winger, so I'm talking about the strikers.
Yeah, but
the
the guy is a goal threat
and a goal threat.
Any team should be worried
if you're talking about their goal threats, you have many of their goal threats. You have the creator who is also on the bench, Adingra, who was nominated for AFCON Player of the Year as well. The Cote d'Ivoire guy, the guy that made the assist for the final goal against Nigeria. You get Adingra is also on the bench. So you have players that could create chances for them, that could score goals for them as well. And for Nottingham Forest as well, you could look forward and say, okay, you have some players and you have set piece Lord because he's there on loan now, but I've not seen anything he's done with the set piece so far.
Okay. Let's get a prediction for that game. It's Nottingham Forest versus Brighton.
I'll be backing Brighton.
I'm sticking with Nottingham Forest though.
Okay,
you can't lose 2 games back to back when you're competing for top.
Bro, you can if you are not in the right mind space, and I don't think they are in the right mind space.
Okay, let's move on to the 4 p.m. Fixtures. Newcastle is playing Fulham. Who wins?
It's going to be a tough one. No? Let's not even go there. Newcastle are in some crazy form right now. I wouldn't fancy going up against Isak in this form. I wouldn't fancy going up against Anthony Gordon, the wingers, everything. Fulham have what it takes to be attacking, to be conservative, but it's all about, do they have in the final moments, when you get into the final third, when you get the ball up to the striker, is he clinical enough? And I don't think he is. And I think this is a game that Fulham will struggle to score chances, and Newcastle are going to be able to get in goal after goal after goal. It's going to be anything you think you can do, we can do times 2.
Okay, and also, what do you think will happen in this game?
I just believe the midfielders are doing the most.
You need to support now. You will be pleased.
I'm not supporting nobody.
Let's support our.
If you cannot do the same thing for Super Eagles,
simple and short.
See, if you cannot do the same thing for the Super Eagles team, I no support them.
Bro.
I no support them. Why do you think we go on and talk about Ademola Lookman, Victor Osimhen? Because they run on the pitch when Osimhen play for Super Eagles. So you play for the badge, you die for the pitch. And that's it for me. So if you cannot translate this performance to the Super Eagles team, then he can as well stay in England. Okay. But for me, I'm just feeling like they have all the creative forces in midfield. But they keep I think they hold it to themselves. They don't supply the striker enough. Whenever he's in between 2 defenders, he's making that ball off a defender. You're supposed to give him the pass for him to connect, but it's not. Those passes are not coming in.
And that's the thing.
And whenever they give him the pass when he's choked.
That's the thing. Like I wanted to point out, it's a totally different game plan when the manager says, this is how we play, this is what we want to do. The manager is not on the pitch. He's not the one that will make the run. He's not the one that will provide the assist. And the striker is powerless to do any other thing because he has to camp and he has to be there to receive the ball. But if the ball never comes to him, he has no capacity to influence the game. He has to now either come back get it off somebody, and move. But when you build up to the final third, who you go give? You are the man that should be receiving the ball.
So that's why you see. That's why you see for us, Fulham, you have their midfielders having most of the goals.
I think this is a conversation that should be had because a lot of them are being too selfish rather than working for the team, and that's what it should be. It should be team over individual, any day, anytime. Team effort.
Okay, let's see what happens today. Let's get a prediction for that game. Okay, let's start. We are done with Nottingham Forest, Newcastle and Fulham. Who wins?
Yeah, I'm sticking with my boys, so Tonali and Anthony Gordon and the rest of them. I'm just sticking with them all through.
Okay, both of you are doing Newcastle. Okay, let's talk about Everton. Everton are a team that Moyes took over, and they started picking up points and 3 points here and there. Leicester City won against Spurs, but I won't say that Spurs are a team in form. Anybody can go there now and collect 3 points. So I won't judge Leicester, which is, truthfully, it's a good win for them. Let's be frank. It's a good win for Leicester when they won that game. I think they did it away from home too.
Yes.
So they did well in that game. But playing an Everton side that they are okay. Moyes is trying to do something there. And our guy, Vanisura, is trying to do something in Leicester too. What do you think will happen in this game?
For me, to put things in perspective, Leicester went to the Tottenham Stadium, the 90,000-seater stadium, in front of the white side of London and won comfortably because they knew that the opponent had a glaring wound and all they had to do was just keep poking that wound till the guy goes under, and that's what happened in that game. So I think it's foolishness on the side of Tottenham Hotspur to know that you have a deficiency and still be delusional enough to think that you can win with that deficiency. In this case right now, I think it's a good result because pressure came off RVN. He gave the lads a lift. But against Everton, now you're coming against the cerebral assassin in David Moyes, who knows this side, who knows this player. The players are going to die for him on that pitch. It's going to be a tough ask, especially when Leicester City's lineup, even on the bench, are not as they should be. They are missing key players. I keep saying it. They are missing key players, and they will need to grind out a result here in this one.
The two teams win against Tottenham. Now, the two of them beat Tottenham 2-1 for Leicester City, 3-2 for Everton. Good game for them, and I think both managers lost their first job, or their first, their first game. Look, apart from Ruud van Nistelrooy, who got the honeymoon of 5 games, Moyes lost his first game against Aston Villa, and after that he's gone on a winning
just back-to-back win.
On a winning spree now, two now.
Back to back, not winning. When you string 5 wins.
Now this one go call Adam. This one go Adam because he's just one of those managers to say he's proven. You get, he has the squad, he has the bench. Leicester City does not. And until their player comes back from injury or until they do a couple of business in this January transfer window, I'm not seeing them move forward.
Okay, let's have a prediction for that game. Who wins in this game?
The Mosiah will take it home. Mosiah takes it home.
I think it's going to be a draw.
Okay, the two bottom guys is Ipswich Town versus Southampton. Prediction for that game. I think this game is more. Ipswich Town needs this game more because they have a chance to fight,
a shot to
survive. Yes, they have it. If they win this game, they at least they are going to be at 19 points, which they probably, if the result goes their way, in other way they'll leave at this 19th position till probably outside the top bottom 3. But for Southampton, it's clear already they are going down. But let's get a prediction for this game. Who wins?
Well, I keep looking back and say, what if things change and they go on the Man City 17 games unbeaten?
Who is the thing that will change?
On Saturday now.
Saturday to do what?
Once they go on the unbeaten run of 17 games.
Unbeaten
like
what?
Just Man City do once upon a time. If Saturday do it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, what?
I'm like the guy for the underdogs, you know. When you've taken the story away from them that it's all over, they come back and I tell you that the story is not over yet.
Bro, the story is not over because they are going to collect 6 in this one.
Against Ipswich.
Then the story will really be over. Let's not forget that this is the Ipswich side that keeps scoring game in, game out. They know how to score. They know how to defend. And they are playing a team that
they know how to score. They don't know how to defend.
Score. They know how to defend because you can't compare the budget of this Ipswich team, pari passu, with other teams in the Premier League at both the 15th position. It's not the same budget. So you can't expect them to outperform what they are and what the options they have. You can't expect them to over-index that. And they've done well for themselves for where they are. And they need more funding to do better. So in this game now, you are playing your compare. They came up, one way or another. They've been in the championship. They've had their time in championship. They're here in the Premier League. It's now time for them to outclass Southampton by winning them and winning comfortably. That's my opinion on this matter.
When you say something like this, I laugh because this Southampton team, we will ask ourselves what happened to Luton Town. They were there in the last season. They had to bring in Premier League experienced players, though they give them pay cuts to at least help the team grow. Ipswich Town have done the same when they went on loan to get Calvin Phillips on loan and some other credible players on loan, just to help the team get to the standards of the Premier League and see them buy in the Premier League. Southampton, on the same hand, have done this. They have players from the Premier League. They have players on high budget from the Premier League that have been in the Premier League, that have gone down with them and came back with them. So these teams, we have to. I know the budget is not the same with the top 6. It's not the same with the top 10, but it's there or thereabout around that.
It's not thereabouts, bro.
15.
It's not thereabouts at all, and that's unjust coming from you.
When it comes to revenue sharing in the Premier League, all of them are mostly the same thing. What difference there is that some clubs have better sponsorship, better stadium ticket sales. That's what gives them the advantage.
And that's why I'm saying for you to come in here and make a blanket statement that because you're in the Premier League, your revenue is there or thereabouts, it's unfair because there are some clubs that are playing out of where 2 or 3 are gathered stadiums. There are some clubs that have
better sponsorship.
Isusu that the community put together to play wage bill. So you can't come in here and make those blank statements because it's unkind coming from you. You have to have due regards for what their situation is.
I understand.
You can't say that they're on the same paycheck and in the same bracket.
The truth about the Premier League now is that a Southampton side can buy a 30 million player.
They can. But the same PSR rule that is favoring Man City and other teams is also favoring them too. How can you expect a team that has maybe a net revenue annually of 10 million to compete favorably against guys that have
My own is
900
that they
million?
can buy.
They
It's
can
not
buy.
about
If
they can buy.
Okay,
You will
wait,
still balance
John,
the book after you buy.
John. Tottenham
You
Hotspur, do they
shop
have the
from,
money
there are
or they
people
don't have
who
the
shop
money?
from malls in town. There are people who shop from Otanja. There are people who shop from inside dustbin. All shopping are shopping, but not be the same grade.
John, Tottenham get the money or they don't get the money? Then they levy.
Tottenham has the money now. I
And
read
they are not buying.
their records.
And they are not buying.
Yes, it's a choice.
If you have the
They
money,
have the money, but they don't want to
If
buy.
you have
It's
the
a
money,
choice.
it's
As
see.
against when you don't have the money, you don't have the option, you now have to sell your only star player and then take 2 steps backwards, build again, sell another
for
star
Ipswich
player,
Town,
take 2 steps backwards and build again.
for Ipswich
Don't
Town,
just come and say it bluntly like that.
For Ipswich Town, for Luton Town last season, you saw when they went on to get players from Chelsea, from Aston Villa on loan. If you cannot pay the outright bill, you go and get them on loan. And they got some of the best players. Wetin happen? They still drop.
They got some of the best players.
They got some of the best players. Some, I don't say all the best players. Some of the best players, because at some point you put what's this guy's name? What's it called? Drinkwater, the other guy. You put their names on the list of midfielders who were one of the best
Drinkwater
midfielders.
at which age?
Now, which
At
age?
his prime or when? So don't come and tell me you are being insensitive to the matter on ground.
Which
Don't
matter?
come and
Which
say
matter is that?
you brought in the best player. That one I wash. Let's
Yeah.
talk facts. You brought in the best player. You brought in a washed out player who is a shadow of himself, a shell of his former existence, and you tell me I brought in the best player. That's rubbish. That's balderdash.
What's Como doing now in Italy?
Como are
Wait,
building
let me
based on a
understand.
principle in
Let
that
me
side.
understand. Are we agreeing Ipswich Town here? We even left the big team. Please let's move on to the next team, please. Let's get a prediction for that team. Ipswich versus
I'm
Southampton.
sticking with Ipswich. I just want to ask John what happened to Como, because
Leave
Como
this
is
one.
getting all the big old players.
Leave this one,
According
I
to
want
John,
to
and they are still getting results in the Serie A.
Where are they in the Syria though?
They
Where
are,
are
they
they
are
in
not
the
there to
Syria?
compete for the top 5. Monza did the same
No,
thing.
the question is where are they in the Syria? Are they getting by or are they competing? Because trust me, they are not
You're
competing.
not there for your first season
They are
to
not
compete.
competing. Straight up.
In your first season from relegation, you are not coming to compete. Leicester City did not come in their first season to compete. In the second season, what happened? They competed and they got the trophy.
Why did they
But
compete?
First season,
Why did they compete?
After you
though?
test
Because
the
they had
waters,
backing and they signed quality players.
after
Simple and short.
you had backing in the first season, you stay stable. You stable yourself before you just came from the Division 2 and you want to compete. Just like telling me Valladolid wants to compete for the La Liga. It's not going to work. Or you want to tell me Monza wants to compete
You
for the
can't
Serie
compete,
A.
so don't come and tell me that they have the same player, have good players. They have
Or
all
even-
the teams
or
in the
even
Premier
heading-
League
or
have
even-
good players.
or even
No,
heading-
that's
what you get those
That's
players,
totally unkind and
what you
uncalled
get
for.
those older players for is for the experience, to share it with the young
Baba,
players
which
you have on your
experience when you
side.
won't bring come decide again now? You couldn't cut it elsewhere and you are here
said
to
they
come
couldn't
and
cut it
you
elsewhere?
couldn't cut it elsewhere. Yes, let's go there. Let's go there. After Baba left Chelsea, how the thing go? Where in there? So let's not go there. Don't come and whitewash this thing. It's like whitewashing a sepulchre and calling it a mall where we know that burial ground be that. Don't do that, please.
Okay, let's move on to the next game. Bournemouth is playing Liverpool in that game. Bournemouth is a team that trashed Nottingham Forest 5-0. Liverpool won their last game too. I think they beat Ipswich Town 4-1. So Bournemouth is giant killers this season. They are beating Spurs, they are beating Arsenal, beating Manchester City. I think they won against Manchester United too. Home and away this season. So they are hosting Liverpool in the next round of games. Okay, what will happen in that game? Liverpool to continue their winning streak, or Bournemouth to kill another giant?
It's not going to be a walk in the park. It's not going to be another stroll for Liverpool. This is Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth have gone counterproductive to the mode in the Premier League. They've not gone to go and sign crazy players. They've not gone to go and bring, even some of the signings they bring in, you don't even know their name, you don't even sabi them. Evanilson and co. Evanilson is coming good for them, scoring a couple of goals. Capacity of your human brain, and then you need some extra one to tackle them because of the quality of players they have and the way they play and the style of play. So is it going to be another walk in the park for Liverpool? No. But the question is, when those pockets of moment provide themselves to Palmer, where you have the opportunity to put one in the back of the net, are those guys going to be clinical?
They won that game in the Champions League, final game in the Champions League on Wednesday. They're going away to Wolves. What is the operation for the game? Who wins?
I mean, I'm going to back Villa. I'm going to back Villa not because, of all the noise going around Villa right now. Backing Villa because of the team and the man. Because at the end of the day, it's the man leading the team that calls the shot, the one that is going to orchestrate any result we want to see. So I'm going to back Villa. Yes, John Duran is already in Saudi. Yes, Watkins has been charged. He's going to be in charge in that position. But if you look at these two teams, Wolves can come in and cause problems. So yes, but Aston Villa have enough quality to see them out, even though they are away from home.
Okay, let's move to the Sunday game. Sunday game, EPL. First, let's talk about Brentford versus Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham has lost games upon games in this Premier League. I can't even actually tell what is wrong with Spurs this season. If you look at where they are they are actually 15th with just 4 points. The last 5 games they have lost 4 and drawn 1, which is very, very poor. And now Ferguson, or what is that defender that when those are defend, is not injured.
And the old man Ben Davies is still an option available though.
So what do you think will happen in this game?
It's going to be another game where these guys have to grind out the result. They have to grind out Spurs hopefully grinding out the result. There's no excuse. There's no going to be an escape route for them. They have to grind out the result, and the manager has to be able to get that across to these boys that they need to put in a performance. That's where we'll come back to the fighting spirit. Are they going to roll over and die because they have key people out? Sri Lanka is also out for 6 weeks as well too. So that's another blow to them. The window is winding down. They are without these key guys. They need reinforcement.
They're going for either ways, midfielders and strikers alongside defenders.
They need reinforcement.
Because now Tomari and he's happy at Italy. He's happy at AC Milan, but he doesn't want to because he was disgraced.
Yes.
In the Premier League. He's happy where he is now. But for them, we have all their defenders, all the key defenders out injured, except for Pedro Porro at the right back. We have every other person out injured. Even the regular who's supposed to be starting is not starting. Yes. I don't know why that is. And you're playing against in that position. In the front line, you have Timo Werner out injured. Brandon Johnson out injured. So in the front line, you only have an available forward. Available forward in the team is only Son. Yeah, maybe we test Kulusevski on the flanks. He works out sometimes because I think he worked out in Serie A. So if you test him on the flanks, he might work out. But I just feel like with all these players injured, they should be grinding results anyways. You won't. They don't get results unless you want to play the under-17s you played in the Europa League last year.
No, the thing is, you grind a result, you get a result if you are willing to adapt. We talked about adaptability here, but Ange has refused to be adaptable. You can't adapt to the format to drop the high line, conserve and hit on. You have the player that can hit on the break. You have 9 players. Nobody is going to come here. Do you want us to pity you, or do you want progress? Do you want to salvage this season? You understand me? Because nobody is going to call a pity party for you. Everybody has injuries one way or another. Yes, your own is 9, no doubt about that. But then, do you want the emotion or do you want progress? And I pick progress every day. It'll be tough, but grind out the results. That year, if we have to, we'll grind out the results.
If I am him, if I'm the coach of Spurs, I'm just going to do is to not bother about the Premier League and focus on cup competitions. I'm still in the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and the Europa Cup. Because injury is too much. You cannot be injured in play. You cannot qualify anything.
No, I disagree with that.
If you now lose the rest of the Premier League games, you'll be playing.
You won't be in those cup competitions.
Wait. I want to ask a question. You lose all your Premier League games, you win the FA Cup, and you say you won one trophy. And we can qualify for Europa League again. Now you win the FA Cup, you qualify for Europa League. You be in the Championship,
they will not go on Europa League. It's not possible for them to go on
right now, because as it stands now, everything is on the cards. Everything is on the table. Is like
all options
every option is possible because the way they are playing, losing against Everton and what's it called, Leicester City back to back, and losing a couple of games after that, or perhaps you losing a couple of games before that, having just one win, one draw in the last 6 games.
24 points on the table, sitting 15th.
So if Leicester City goes on to win like 3 or 4 matches now, you're in trouble.
The funny point is you don't even need to win your games to be out of trouble. The funny point is other teams around you or ahead of you winning their games. The separation happens. The separation happens, and before you know it, in about 17, 18, 19, 20, before you know it, you're in the drop
Yeah,
zone.
Even though I don't think that they are going to go on relegation, but anything is possible in football. Okay, let's move on to the next game. It's Manchester United versus Crystal Palace. Okay, I don't know for Man U fans if you can see improvement or not, but I can't see anything. But people have to decide on that one. It's your club, it's your club. So you have to decide if people are improved. If Amorim improved the players or the style of play and all that. But for me, yeah, it's still the same thing. But they are playing a Crystal Palace side. Crystal Palace are sometimes strong, sometimes they are weak, sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. But Man United is a team you can go
Theater of dreams, and anybody can dream.
if they can get 3 points at Old Trafford.
Sure, no doubt about it. For me, I think Manchester United fans have been so inundated with all the heartbreak back to back. I think they should be probably comatose at this point in time because there is no end in sight to this quagmire. The bottom line every United fan will tell you is let's just do A, B, C. Show up, perform about all these things. Let's see these players come and do the fundamentals, because if you can't do the fundamentals, and me, I'm hoping for them too that they are able to get in the doggo. But bro, it's going to be beyond just getting a doggo. There is still this quagmire of 2 strikers in that side that have not been productive in the last 6 weeks.
No, so your guy Mateta has been scoring goals this season. Do you think he will score again against Manchester
United? That be my guy.
Now your guy.
No, you know, say, if coach come to him and he do a sick player where if he revamp the player career, he focus on that player. You get, at some point nobody expected this guy to be scoring goals. What's his name for Brandon Johnson? Expect him to just supply the pass. But in Tottenham Hotspur, he's the one scoring goals.
Yeah,
you get that. For Wolverhampton Wanderers, nobody expects Cunha to be scoring the goals.
True that.
Nobody expects João Pedro for Brighton to be scoring the goals. You expect Daniel Welbeck whenever he starts to score the goals. But all the same, he's getting the goals. Mitoma is getting the goals. Every other person in the
team.
He's helping the team. So it's about me as a coach. Who do I want to make my star man? I don't have an what's it called now? Oli say he's gone to Germany. He's gone to Bayern Munich. I have an Eze who can still create the chances. I have some other players who could still produce. So what I have to do is just make my star man continue to get numbers. And for me, he's getting the numbers right.
Okay, that last press conference, he talked about Kobe Mainoo playing as a 10. That is not comfortable to play as a 10. This is the first time I'm seeing him play behind the striker. He's been playing either box to box or a defensive midfielder for Manchester United. Do you think that he can try that experience again today?
Look at it now. For the first game, I think Højlund was not available where Rashford played as a striker, and this guy played from the flanks, that Bruno Fernandes. This guy was there. Kobe Mainoo was behind the striker. Against Wolverhampton Wanderers, he was up front. He wasn't the box-to-box midfielder. He was up front. We've seen this guy play in that position, not as a 10. You get? He's not like he's just one of those players you will say will support the number 6 position.
As an 8, yeah.
As an 8. But as the 10, he doesn't have what it takes. But Bruno Fernandes being in that position and him coming out to cope. If you have, like I said, if you have a defensive midfielder that has the legs to run around with him, because I saw his first season when Casemiro was still having the legs to run around. If you have a defensive midfielder that can run around with him and still play the ball well, you will see the best of Kobe Mainoo and you will see the creativity of Kobe Mainoo. But for now, he doesn't have that player. Ugarte is one of those players that recover the ball and give it back to you guys. At my work now to get the ball back. I don't win the ball. Make sure that they play.
Okay, let's see what happens with this Manchester United team. They are playing tomorrow at Old Trafford against Crystal Palace. Let's see, they are about to sign a left wing back from Italy, for Lecce from Italy. So that deal will be completed on Sunday. I've told you that the transfer window is closing 3rd of February. That means on Monday. That's where the transfer window is closing. So let's see if they are going to bring in a couple of players, or if Rashford is going to go, or other players. Like if they bring this left wing back, that means either Malaysia or Shaw.
Shaw is going. Malaysia is still playing because he played a couple of games.
Might leave before the end of the season, the end of the transfer window might, or 3 of them can stay because nobody will buy short because he's injured. You cannot buy a player that is
It's not
injured.
going
So
anywhere.
that's the problem. He has to stay till probably the summer. Truthfully, the Shaw is a good player, but he can't stay fit. He just can't stay fit. Okay, let's see what happens in that game. Okay, let's move on to the final game. On Sunday, is Arsenal is going to be hosting Manchester City at the Emirates. It's going to be a big game. It's always been a big game for the past couple of years. In last maybe 6 years, it's always obvious that Manchester City will come and trash Arsenal, whether home or away. It's been happening till last 2 seasons, and last season Arsenal started putting up a fight. In last 2 seasons, last season I think they didn't lose a game against Man City, home and away last season, and this season they have already gotten a draw at the Etihad. So they actually started growing and competing with Manchester City after a couple of years. But in this game, the Emirates, Arsenal has a couple of injuries. Saka is still out. Jesus is still out. So they need a couple of players in. But Manchester City bought 2 defenders, bought a striker. So they are actually in a good position. But in this game, what do you think will happen in this game? I'll start with you, Nasu.
Well, I was looking at the game like, okay, fine, these players still have a couple of players out injured. Arsenal still have their front defense line injured, right back and all of that. Arteta will still want to experiment with tactics. You're playing against a Man City, you want to play a 5-man defense. We understand. But Man City, on the other hand,
who plays a 5-man defense?
I mean, if you want to,
Arsenal doesn't even play 5-man defense again.
If you understand. But Man City, on the other hand, are not on the form of their life. I think they are impregnable, and I think they are just a team that you can go in as just like coming to Theatre of Dreams to have a dream as well, to dream along. You can go to Man City and get a result. This season we've seen it happen in the first half of the season, and it can still continue. And I keep saying this: if you want to take the position of somebody, you have to beat that person to be in that position. And that's one thing Chelsea has lacked all through this season. You want to be in the top 4, you have to beat the top 4 to be in the top 4. And for Arsenal, you want to win the Premier League. And currently, the people who have the Premier League is Man City and Liverpool. You have to beat them to take their trophies. And I don't see Arsenal pulling out a surprise package from it, because they still go back to the same reaction in the season. They still go back to the same mistakes. Okay, we win against Man City. What next? We go and dash the point out to Southampton. We go and dash the point out to Ipswich Town. We go and give the point out to Bournemouth and all of those people competing for top second half of the table. So it's a problem for me to see Arsenal say I support Arsenal to win this game, because they don't have the personnel and the character to go into this game and win it outrightly.
John?
Yeah, we've played these guys about 44 times, and we've won 23, drawn 10, and lost 11. I am pretty confident against an Arsenal side, not necessarily because
you played it 23 times. How many years?
Yeah, I'm just giving you based on the stats ahead of me here. 23 wins, 10 draws, 11 losses for Man City against Arsenal. Okay, so I'm not scared of them. We are going to their home as usual. Hopefully we get all 3 points. They are without the main man. Like I said, when you know your enemy is injured or wounded, you capitalize on that weakness, that frailty there. But I would be wary about being in the Emirates Stadium. No doubt, we are getting 3 points.
Okay, that game is happening at the Emirates. Let's see what happens there. If Arsenal or Man City, both of them needs, at least Man City needs the 3 points to
stay in the top 4.
Top 4. Arsenal needs 3 points to
compete for the title.
So the 3 points, a draw for both teams is going to be a disaster for both teams, because if Liverpool wins today and the Arsenal draws tomorrow, it will be more gap with a game in hand. So it's going to be dicey game for both of them.
If Nottingham Forest win, they go back to 3rd position.
You see, so the Arsenal needs to win, Manchester City needs to win, everybody needs to win that game. It's going to be the biggest game in the Premier League today. On Monday. Okay, let's get your prediction for that game. John will support his team, and also who wins?
You know, say I know if you support Arsenal.
Okay, yeah, favorite John today.
Draw. They will draw. So they go draw. I don't think we know. Man City title, no. They've won enough title. So
we need to
Arsenal title, London team. No, even that's why
you can never even be there. So you're on
so if I'm not there, they can't be there.
Okay, let's see what happens to that game. That game is happening tomorrow. The final game for the Premier League for tomorrow. For Monday, Chelsea is playing on Monday against West Ham. So on Monday we are going to discuss discuss what will happen in that game. Okay, before we move on to transfer stories, let's open the phone line to get your contribution about the Premier League happening this weekend, especially the big one, Arsenal versus Manchester City. Or you can tell us about your own club, prediction for your own club. The number to call is 0706 048 5853. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Godwin.
Hello, good morning.
John and Uncle.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Name and location, please.
Is Bishop from Transmetropolitan.
Okay,
Welcome.
Bishop, what's your contribution?
Let me start with the big one, Man City and Arsenal.
Okay.
It's going to be a tough game. Yeah. Because I think Man City is, even though they are not yet convinced, it's not the past Man City we know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And giving Arsenal a chance. You know they have been beating Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is Arsenal opportunity to beat them. Yes. This is Arsenal opportunity to beat them.
Arsenal beat them last season. No?
Arsenal should beat them without Rodri. You get? So they should try and do that because they are not yet the Man City we used to know.
Okay.
But their name is still the same and their coach they still have game. So maybe it may end in a draw or Arsenal should win that game. I'm not seeing City getting a victory. No, I don't see that. If I see that happens, it will be a surprise.
Good to know.
But if Arsenal win them, I expect it. If they can manage a draw, it will be a victim thing. Okay, let's play well and share the game. Man City and Real Madrid in the Champions League. Oh God, it's just like a baby.
Yeah.
So we talk about that one next time.
Okay.
Man U and Crystal Palace. Anything can happen between Man U now. We don't know. Man U fans now, you just sit and watch. Whatever you see, you will take. Maybe from next season, we start seeing how they will play. Maybe after pre-season, new players and coach. They are always talking about training. They have not trained much. They have not adapted to it. Just that we wait. But Man U can win. Crystal Palace can win. Draw can happen. That is just the mindset now of sitting and watching that game.
Okay.
Whatever comes, we take.
We take.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much. Okay. You can also call 0915-570-8347. Call us and tell us your prediction for this weekend's games. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, everybody in the studio.
Hello, good morning. Name and location,
And also,
please.
yeah, good morning, everybody. I think also there.
Adeya, good morning.
All the Vitalis Igoches at Stafford Bridge, aka Wanda in Eden.
Okay, what is your contribution?
My contribution is that I want Arsenal to win that match
Mm-hmm.
against Man City because you know that the winners, Man City winners, is narrow escape because if Chelsea converted all their chances, the team could be another different team. Because you push help me, tell Enzo Malokwa that you should go and buy players. I'm telling you honestly. Just know your Joto. It's not a striker. And because if you should help me, deliver the message to Stafford Bridge. Enzo Malokwa should go and look for players and buy striker. Just know your Joto is not a striker. I'm just telling you honestly. So I'm not happy about Chelsea now. What they're doing, I'm not happy. From second position to now to the fifth position, it's unfair. How can get happy? Chelsea is now all the blood. I just Chelsea when I hand this from ya. They should try to do something. Also, are you going to escape today's match?
It's me and you on Monday.
Okay, Monday.
On Monday.
I'm going to go football now.
You know, see, I can't lose back to back team. I can't look back to back against Chelsea.
You don't lose and put down.
No, see, that day I'll be training. I'll train engagement.
No.
All right.
I'll training.
No,
Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you. Okay, let's get your prediction for this weekend's game. You can call in and make your contributions. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
This is Chibike calling from Sikastona.
Okay, Chibike, what is your contribution, Chibike?
Okay. Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah. I'm a City fan. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
My guy.
Calling from Etihad campus.
Okay.
Yes. For Man City, Arsenal. Arsenal, they no go even see half field play.
More.
Well, but they will give consolation goal, 3-1. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, straight to the point. He just made his own prediction. Man City to win 3-1. Okay, let's see if that is going to happen. And they are playing away. It's possible they have the big man there that signed a 9.5 years contract. He's going to break all the scoring records if he completes that contract. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Name and location, please.
Chigozie from Odo.
Okay, Chigozie, what is your contribution or your prediction for this weekend's game?
Yeah, I want to talk about my club, Man U.
Okay,
Look
Manchester
at I'm
United.
now sure I will come back to training because he has shared that Man U have got to stand left back. Wow. I want Man U to afford that man. For sure. I watch forward. So those injured players, they know what they're doing. Look at now, he have returned to training because Man U have signed his replacement. Now we have returned back to training. God. And for Chelsea, that is not going anywhere. Chelsea is the best striker in Europe now. Because even that is better than Haaland himself. I say that is going. That will remain at Chelsea. And for Chelsea, they are competing and they're in second position now. They're coming back. They're going down. They're going to go down to 12 at 13. They are saying they're going to win the league. We see a good win now. And they are saying that will leave the club.
Okay.
That will not go anywhere. That will remain at Chelsea. So the contract will end.
Okay.
Thank you
Thank you very much.
They're going to win the match. West Ham going to meet. Now I was supposed to Monday. Going to beat Chelsea.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, your prediction. Let's take one or two more calls before we talk about the games happening. I'll give you the draw for Champions League, then we'll talk about transfers and we'll close the show. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Name and location, please.
Yeah, this is Engineer Samuel from Oka.
Okay, from Oka?
From Kano.
Okay, all right.
Enugu. Please, these Chelsea fans, I don't know the kind mentality they have. Sometimes they will call. If they would have converted all their chances, they would have converted all their chances from second to sixth position. If they converted all their chances, that's how they will be saying it. If they find themselves in 16th position. They say that Enzo Maresca was Guardiola's boy. And you know the difference between boy and a gate man. A gate man don't have chance to go and learn work. Then you can't compare somebody that is learning work with that is learning work that is in the fight with somebody in the gate. Enzo Maresca was in the gate. He's not a Guardiola's boy. Because that man, if Enzo Maresca learned something from Guardiola, he would just in the first season. Guardiola beat him away. They came to and beat him again. And they said Jackson, how many strikers did Chelsea have? Nkunku was doing well when he was in Austria. And he came to Chelsea and was they are not playing. They have about 7 strikers. So they are looking for the former striker coming.
Okay.
Chelsea fans, I don't know what they do. That the way they talk, I don't know. So they will West Ham either draw against West Ham or they lose against West Ham.
Okay.
That's just the truth.
All right.
I get back is today. I get back is today. But one the way this back is on Monday or Tuesday. On Tuesday we'll talk about the show.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you step away from your radio set, please?
I've done that.
Okay, what is it? Name and location, please.
Okay,
Pedro, what is your contribution?
yeah, today match. I lose. And my prediction is Liverpool to lose 2-1. And for Man City,
Arsenal.
You lose.
It will be a
my team so that you favor my team because I'm playing against
Maybe
FC.
okay.
So
All right.
I use them well.
Okay.
And my team is because we are playing against Graham Potter. So I have some good feeling about Graham Potter, but let's just give them like 2-0. It's okay.
Okay, 2-0.
I'll go talk to you on Monday.
All right, thank you.
Man, you lose against the Palace.
Okay. All right, thank you. Man to lose against
Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
Man City will lose. Man U will lose against
Arsenal will
Crystal
draw,
Palace.
actually.
He said it's the same thing. Arsenal will lose, then Man U will lose, then now win.
How much?
Monday on our way to a lot. I will shock you on Monday. I'll get it for a win.
Okay, before we go back to taking calls or transfer news, let's move on to the draws of the Champions League. Draw happened yesterday, and the fantastic draws. Especially it was just one game because others maybe might look especially okay, let the fixtures then probably look at quickly because next week again we need to talk about the games happening 11th and 12th of February, so just next week, so the game is off. Okay, the draw of the playoff of Champions League happened yesterday, and West is playing PSG. That means two French clubs are playing each other. That's
odd. Thank you.
Two French teams are playing each other. The second draw is Sporting Lisbon versus Dortmund, Juventus versus PSG. That on Tuesday, that last game on Tuesday is Manchester City versus Real Madrid. Is going to be the biggest game in this fixture. Let's see who is on Wednesday, 12th February. Is Club Brugge versus Atlanta, Celtic versus Bayern Munich, Monaco versus Benfica, and Feyenoord versus AC Milan. I think the biggest game here is Man City. So we are going to be, that day we are going to discuss that. But this is the fixtures of the playoff. Playoff happened yesterday for Europa League. The playoff draw was happened too. I'll give you the result. You remember, Manchester United and Spurs finished top 8. They are not playing these playoffs, but other teams are playing this playoff. All of them are playing the same day. It's Union versus Ajax, Finland versus Sociedad, Ferencváros versus Victoria Pleasant, Fenerbahce versus Anderlecht, Prague versus FC.
Bucharest.
I like that name. I don't know why they changed that Bucharest because I was Bucharest was a very huge club.
It's just like taking my Manchester United Football Club and you sometimes say
MFC. It doesn't make sense.
It's of Man U. Most understand. So I will understand.
Player for Europa League, AZ Alkmaar versus Galatasaray. So Osimhen is going to be going Poland to or Netherlands to play that game. Porto versus Roma and Twente versus Bodo and Glimt. So that is the pictures for Europa League draws that happened yesterday. But the interesting one is the Champions League where Man City will play host Real Madrid in that 2 legs. Starting next week, 13th or 11th of February. It's back to back.
11th, 12th, and 13th Champions League.
Champions League and Europa League. So Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. So this season full of football, no breaks everywhere. We watch football, tired, we go watch football, watch. Now you go wrong.
Yes,
so let's see who wins in those games that will happen in these playoffs. Okay, let's talk about a bit of transfers before we go. And Tottenham Hotspur is trying to buy a striker, Tomori from AC Milan. Good, I think
it's defender, former Chelsea defender.
They need him. Actually, Chelsea needs. Tottenham needs a striker because Dragon or whatever his name is injured now.
No, Dragusin defender is injured.
And Van der Beek just came back.
So he came back. You need somebody else. For that right, I think it's the left center defense. You need somebody there, and Tomori is your guy. He's like Alexander Martinez. He doesn't have the luxury of height, but can't get a ball off him through area doors. And he's good as well. He's good on the air as well. He's good on the floor. He has confidence on the ball. I think they're also going to striker Mathys Tel. I think they submitted a bid, hoping to get it.
Yeah, Mathys Tel might. We talked about yesterday. If he might move to
if he's going to be coming down from Bayern Munich to Tottenham Hotspur. We have not rated from Bayern Munich if the bid is going to go through.
Yeah.
John, good move for Tomori. I think it's a good for him.
Good move for Tomori.
It's not a good move. We'll stay in AC Milan where he's going
for Tomori, if he's going to be guaranteed game time, good move for him. If he's going to have game time, if he's going to play, good move. But the player may decide that I'm at home at AC Milan. We are, there or thereabouts in Scudetto race. Why move to Tottenham? We are not even sure they are going to finish 10th or 15th this season.
The thing about this deal, it broke today again that actually AC is looking to sell him because they are going to get a huge amount of money. So they're actually not forcing him out. They're trying to convince him to actually make that move. It's going to favor all parties, but let's see if that will happen. Remember, I told you that Mathys might be moving to Spurs, but they are the negotiating. Actually, Daniel Levy went to Germany to negotiate the deal himself. Let's see if it's going to happen. For Manchester United, Malaysia might leave. That's the rumor that he might leave before the transfer window closes. He will go on loan. If getting the left back from Leicester, he will going to be moving, and let's see what happens. For Chelsea, no news for incoming for Chelsea. Sorry, Chelsea fans, you people for now. We still have today and tomorrow and Monday to probably work up get a transfer in. If they are looking to, the way they are moving in this transfer, Chelsea, they are not looking to sign anybody. Finally, for Arsenal too, they bid now. This guy has moved to Al Nassr. John Duran has completely moved to Al Nassr. That means Watkins cannot leave. It's for him to
very
leave.
impossible.
It's impossible. So Arsenal had to find another solution in the next 2 days or remaining in this transfer. So Arteta, he was asked about what do you think? He said that Arsenal is working extension to finish. His contract is now going to end at 2030, and his release clause is 1 billion euros. So if you want to buy Gavi now, drop 1 billion, and the money will stay. For Manchester United, Garnacho probably is going to be staying at Manchester United because the coach has been talking about him for the past 2 days that he loves Garnacho. That something changed. So people are asking the question, what changed in Garnacho? Because both of them were dropped against Manchester City. But so what did Garnacho change? And Rashford could not change. So that's the question.
His attitude.
That's what the question media has been asking. So let's see if that will happen. So let's see all this transfer. You have only 2 days, today and tomorrow, for you to, and Monday, maybe Monday too, for everybody to complete their transfers. 3 days if you add today, the Saturday, we have 3 days to complete. Bring in somebody for this top club. For Liverpool, we don't even talk about Liverpool because Liverpool will not buy. They are not a buying club. Even the country, people that have Salah, Trent, they are not even giving them the contracts. But let's see what happens. Officially, Neymar is back at Santos. So he is back officially back at Santos. So he's going to be playing his next season, this season and next season at Santos. So good luck to him. He's been after Messi and Ronaldo. He's one of the most skillful players in our generation. But injuries and lack of form has hindered him to become number one. It's sad that he could not even win the Ballon d'Or.
Very sad.
His talent deserves at least one Ballon d'Or. But unfortunately for him, he did not win any. Then he's back. He's officially back at Santos.
The biggest or saddest headline I saw yesterday was the prince who never became king.
It's true. He is supposed to actually win that Ballon d'Or anyhow, because if you look at the talent, even though unfortunately for him, he came in a generation where Messi and Ronaldo was there.
I would say he rushed many of the decisions he took.
True, but if you look at Benzema won in at 33. So if that stayed fit, probably he would have won it.
If Benzema had stayed jump around, he wouldn't have won it.
He wouldn't have won it.
Patience is just the key.
That's the thing. I think the biggest mistake he made was going to Paris Saint-Germain. You have other Brazilians there, but that's not a reason to go to Paris Saint-Germain. He should have stayed and succeeded Messi at Barcelona.
Okay, let's see what happens for Morata. Morata will officially be unveiled as a Galatasaray player tomorrow. So all these things are happening everywhere this weekend. So today, tomorrow, MPFL Rangers. So on Monday we'll sit down and talk about that game against Ikorodu City. That game is going to happen at the Cathedral. We're going to sit down and talk about Rangers International and their game and the way forward for Rangers in this title race. My name is Godwin and have a wonderful weekend. Happy New Month, guys. It's February 1st. Happy New Month and have a lovely month ahead.
Hello Enugu and welcome to Volt 104.3 FM, where music meets the voltage.